out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over. Yes, it's game time. It's the HBCU Stroll with yours truly, Johnny. They call me sometime Football Cole. I got a great show today. I will be bringing on probably one of the talked about HBCU coaches in America, a good friend of mine. Known her when she first started out in the business. 16-0 in the SWAC conference. 69 wins and 7 losses. Been a head coach for 4 years. Actually, as you guys know, this HBCU, but she got a college degree from a PWI, and she has earned her stripes. I'd like to just start bringing her on, the head coach, Jackson State women's basketball, my girl, Tomekia Reed. What's up, Miss Reed? What's up, Coach?
Hello, how are you?
Man, I am great. I am excited. And I got to tell everybody, boy, I probably could have got in touch with Obama before I got in touch with you. But I know why. Hey, we are proud of you. You are a class act. From the day I've ever met you. I think you get more fans just seeing you walk up and down the court and stomping in them four heels. Be like, how does she do it? And then you be on it. You be on it, Coach. You be on it. Tell me, bring me, how you doing? I know you got some camps going on this summer and all. Bring us up to all those great things you're doing.
Well, first of all, I just thank you for being persistent. You know, it's always good to sit down and talk to an old friend. I've been knowing you since I was the assistant coach at Jackson State, and that was well over 15 years ago, maybe. Yes. So I'm just so thankful that you brought me on in this magnitude, and I'm excited for this conversation. But right now we have camp going on, and we just finished our elite camp, and we had almost 100 campers. And that was, so awesome, because I can remember my first year, we started off with 20. We went from 20 to about 50 to 70. Now we're at 100. So I'm excited about how our camps are growing. My staff has done a really good job in pulling that together. We have about 2 more camps going for this month of June. And then towards the end of June, I will bring my whole team in, and we'll get back at it for practice.
Wow, Coach. I've checked your background, and I know you actually went to a junior college yourself and went on to play basketball and started your career off as an assistant coach, of course. And Jackson State was really your first head job. But now in 4 years, sister, you the baddest thing going around, especially with HBCU. I mean, where do you go from here? Do you win it? And I made a mistake. You're not a two-time SWAC champion. You're a three-time SWAC champion.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Where we
go? God is just so good. It's been a for sure blessing, my time at Jackson State. And it's all about timing. I came in at the right time with the right administration. Ashley Robinson, our athletic director, he makes it easy for us to be successful.
Well,
When we need some.
So we expect that
Yeah.
from.
Absolutely new country, but
Yeah.
he's awesome. He gives us what we need to be successful. He's very student centered, and so I really believe it starts there. And our team, my staff has done a great job over the years recruiting and great talent. I lose coaches every year. I've lost a coach that went to Virginia. I lost a coach that went to Nebraska, Omaha. And I lost a coach who went back to be a pastor. But every year I have new coaches. And I'm just glad that with that door evolving, we have not lost grips in terms of our team being successful. But we have a vision for the program. And right now we're right on pace for accomplishing some things that we have to accomplish. Every year I just feel empty at the end of the years. And so it's we have so much more to come back and take care of.
Yeah, when I search your background, you actually have went through some things that the girls that you coach, and I seen one of your interviews and especially about the young lady that just got drafted, how you were there not just a coach and bringing her in as a basketball player. You brought her in of saying you're not leaving your mom, you actually gaining one, or you're gaining a big sister, and your philosophy in that kind of lines up with mine as well. And I think it's needed in college, period.
Yeah.
And I just think that philosophy of yours is a super philosophy, and you've been a great recruiter. That's one of the biggest things that you were always a great recruiter. And so you got some girls coming in. Do we got some? Do I need to put my car on the road and see some of these big time players that you bringing in?
We do have some big time players coming in. You gotta come see us. I'm really excited about where we are right now. Obviously, as you continue to grow and you want to continue to do bigger things within your program, you got to continue to bring in big time players. The transfer portal allows us to do that. And with me being a junior college head coach, you only get players for 2 years. So you have to be able to bring them in and get them into your system and doing what you want them to do really quickly. So bringing in transfer portal players, it's been really good to see them conform to the system as quickly as they do to bring that success early that we need. But we have some Power 5 transfer from Rutgers, we have a transfer from Cincinnati who played at South Alabama, and we have one coming in from USC in California.
Yeah, that's the one I heard about. My California connections told me that she can do it. So I look forward to that next time you come over to Texas. One thing about my show, me being an HBCU graduate, HBCU coach, and I've had some success. Our roles and stuff are limited. Especially in the football game. And really in the basketball game. And I hope that you get that opportunity to whatever you want. Because I know I heard you had an offer, but you refused to stand in Jackson State. Uh, uh, so I guess I'll be talking to you about a young coach want to come up and want to not only just coach in the HBCU realm, but the PWI.
Mhm.
But 90% of the athletic directors
in PWI schools and all schools are white. And of course, they make the decision. How you feel, about that, and how you think we could change it, or how you think has it gotten better? Or
I'm gonna be very honest with you. You have to be competitive outside the conference. When you look at an HBCU institution and you look at the conference and the games they play, it's you can't just dominate in the conference and just win conference games and expect to go get a job at a PWI because unfortunately, our conference is frowned upon. And they think our coaches aren't competent, they think our coaches aren't coaching. And so in order to gain their respect and be able to have a shot at jobs like that, you have to be competitive outside the conference. When you play other PWIs, you got to be great. You got to be great. You got to win those games. When you play Power 5 institutions, you got to win those games. And I think that'll give HBCU coaches a chance to get those jobs on the next level if you can come in and win those games. I think we didn't win those games last year, but we were very competitive. And I think that is what got me an opportunity to interview for some of the Power 5 jobs and become one of the finalists for one of those jobs. When it was all said and done, but you have to be competitive outside. You have to carry yourself in a in a very professional, classy way. You have to have positive social media presence. I think all of those things are important, but I also believe in timing. I also believe in what's for you will be for you regardless. And I believe in, if you position yourself, someone is going to come see you and grab a hold of you.
it's so much of a disproportionated, where there's coaches of white coaches and black coaches, and like you say, I think in the HBCU realm, we need to be more pleased with us. And like you say, we got this bad thing about us. But the thing that surprises me most when they choosing coaches, because I didn't feel that y'all should have been ranked a little higher in the NCAA. And I know a lot of that is just what you said. They don't look upon our conference as well. So, but that gives me a little pause when the people making the decisions don't look like us. And so I think it's up to us and them. This is not I tell people all the time, this is not a racial thing. It's an awareness thing, that in America, in $1 billion college sport arena, and it's dominated by African American players, there should be more people like you and other coaches that can step in and be able to coach at that level.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm gonna go back to the NCAA, the seating that we received. The board. It's a couple of us on the board, and I really believe when they had their initial meeting, which was during um, the end of February, beginning of March, they were really considering us to be a high seeded team. They were also considering, because this was the first year that they did a 68 team tournament, if they were also considering that if we did not win our conference, that we would be one of those four to come in that 68. And I thought that was pretty awesome, because if you only get the berth in the NCAA if you win SWAC. And so I thought that was great. But one of the things that they did say was that we were competitive in those big games, but we should have put on our schedule some of those mid 100 teams, like like a Stephen F. Austin or some of those mid-level teams, and try to get wins over those type of teams. But what's so bad for us, Coach Cole, is that we have built such an amazing program, those teams won't play us.
Right,
You
right.
know? And so now, and I'm going to be honest with you, working on my schedule right now, I feel like I run a Power 5 program, because I have 3 Power 5s that have asked me to do a home and home, and 2 want to start with me at my home. And so I was like, a home and home with a Power 5? No, I need this money. So, but I mean, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there, and those are some of the doors I talked about knocking down, and some of those opportunities that I talked about in my press conference after the NCAA tournament.
Well, I keep up with you now. I see you taking a whole bunch of pictures, and you looking stardom, and of course you taking pictures. We got two of the most popular black coaches going right now. I can't talk to you about Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
I know with his persona, been there, done that. To me, he's one of the greatest athletes ever put some clicks on.
Yeah.
How much do you guys lean and talk, and how does that work?
Prime and I, we talk a lot. When he first got here, we sat down and we talked, and he just kind of wanted to know, how did I do it? With the limited resources, how did you do it? And so we talked a lot about that. He brought me in to talk to his staff, and that was an awesome experience. And, from time to time, we get together for dinner and just kind of talk about where our programs are, where we are as an institution, and what we would like to see happen differently. So him and I spend a lot of time together. I'm sure that time will grow even more with his daughter coming to be a part of our program this year. And so, Prime is a great guy. He's not only just trying to grow football, but he's trying to grow all of our programs at Jackson State and other programs in the conference as well. So, he has made us a household name. We've been recruiting great players before he came, but we are getting even better players now that he's here. And he just opened up the door so much and just making the job so much, easier for us to go out and be a household name and be respected.
Right. So, man, back to this. I just thought that they should have seated y'all being a 3-time champion coming out of SWAC. You was a 2-time coach of the year. Y'all basically dominated the conference. I mean, 16-0. So, that was my little take on it. I thought that you guys should have opened up and at least gave you opportunity. But, we as black college coaches in HBCUs, and I guess we got to say it that way. We just don't get our opportunity there, and there's so many opportunities is limited, and then now we all jump and swim over the same opportunities. My goal is to bring awareness to that. My goal is to bring a superstar coach like you that you got the formula to win. I can see it. I read it. I know. When a coach don't talk about the James and Joes off the rip and start talking about what's important, education. If you run into some issues and some problems, how important is that in your system and in your program?
It's very important. Nobody cares about how much you know until they know how much you care. And I'm a person who's been through a lot in my life, as a player in college, who's been through a lot as a coach, and this is not a job for me to just coach. This is my purpose. This is my ministry. And the players that I get in my program are players who look a lot like me and who have experienced things that I have experienced. So now that I've been through it, I can help them get through it as well. It's all about the mind, and it's all about empowerment. It's all about preparation and getting them ready for life after college. That's what it's all about. You have too many players who have bad college experiences, and that's why they're going into the transfer portal. And for me, I want our players to be a whole lot more happier, and enjoy what they're doing. And so when I recruit our players, you're right. You're a winner too. You've been doing this thing. You don't talk about what the player can do. You talk about what you can do for them. And that's important.
Well, like I said, you definitely got the formula because you got the experience. I look forward to continue to watch you. Let's switch gears. Now that you are a established coach, you'll go down in history as one of the best. Again, I can't say enough about you. You've won everywhere you've been. Even when you coached at the junior college, you had one bad season. I've been there before, and then you turn out and win. But with the discrepancy of the unfairness of black coaches like yourself and me, what would you tell a young coach that's coming up in the business?
I would tell a young coach to it's okay not to know it all. Too many times young coaches want to know it all. And they don't want to listen. It's okay. It's okay not to know it all. Open your ears and listen more than you speak. I would tell them study the game, network as much as possible, and just continue to be a student of the game. Even when you experience success, continue to be a student of the game. I would tell a young coach that it's okay to conform. It's okay to change your ways and change who you are so that you can be what your team needs you to be. It's a lot of times we're so hard and let's go and blah, blah, blah. But that may not be what your team need at that time. So it's okay to sit back, observe, and see what's needed. And if that's to come down 10 levels to get on your team level, then do that. Be okay with that. And I think that's the change that we all have to make as coaches in order for our players to be happy, because the players, they just don't tolerate the way you talk to them in any kind of way anymore. They will up and leave. This generation is okay with quitting, and unlike my generation, in your generation, this generation is okay with quitting. And you have parents that will tell them it's okay to go with plan B.
Right.
My son got one plan, that's plan A. Right. You're going to make plan A work, especially if you make a commitment to plan A. So, but we have to conform to this new generation.
Yeah, I want to send a shout out to Keisha Kelly. She said, Coach Reed. I've reached out to a couple of my Jackson State folks, and everybody's excited about it. I want to send another shout out to Ezekiel Franklin. He's a follower of mine that stays in there. He's a black college guy. Coach, Coach, I had the opportunity to coach, and I hope Jackson State treat you with kindness and with kid gloves and make sure that you continue to have what we need, because we need more leaders like yourself. So and then looking at your team that's coming back, are you losing anybody off that squad?
Absolutely. I've lost 33 points, Coach Cole.
That's girl. Big girl.
Yes, my player of the year and my other player of the year and 3-time defensive player of the year, I've lost both of them. Wow. And so they totaled 33 points for the program. They were very, they were essential in what we did for the program. But I truly believe the players that were behind them, that got a chance to go against them every day on the floor, will be prepared going into our next season.
Yeah, man, you got all that bling bling over there. I see all that bling bling. Next year when you win it again, and I know I guess this gonna be my time to get you. I'm gonna have to put my bling bling on too.
All right.
This girl from USC, they say she can do it.
Yeah.
Rebound, shoot it, dribble it. Of course, Texas Southern had a head job open up. I don't know why we didn't. We should have went over there, tried to get you. Texas Southern, we give out money. But young lady from USC, and that I've already heard about.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She's different. She's truly what the WNBA, what the pros will want. At her height, 6'5", she's got to be about 6'6", because everybody, my post player that set out last year, she's 6'5". She's truly 6'5", and my California kid is taller than her, and she's slim. She can put the ball on the floor. She's very shifty. She can shoot the outside shot. She's a great passer. I mean, she's a McDonald All-American. Not a number knee. She's a McDonald All-American. She's a number 6 player in the country. She's a Jordan brand player. Jordan gets about 40 players out of the country, boys and girls. And she's one of those players. And not too many players can say that they're a Jordan brand player. She is phenomenal. She beat my assistant coach the other day in flip-flops. and it's a he. So I was upset because I don't want her out there getting beat, hurt in flip flops. But she beat him in flip flops, so I won't call his name, Coach Campbell. But yeah, she.
Hey, we don't want to get her hurt. We need to get out of them flip flops now.
Right.
When we were growing up, and my team, when I was the head coach of TSU, we didn't wear no flip flop. Wasn't no flip. I don't, when we were brought up is when you step on that court, your shoes is tied up to the top, and you come out and you do work. You don't come out there. This generation, they'll play 5-on-5, and 5 of them have flip flops on.
Yeah.
But look, it would be remiss if I didn't talk about the night that your program made history when your top lady got drafted. I was able to see the highlights. I follow you big time, and I'm sorry I didn't come to your game when you played down. I think it's San Antonio, or you're one of them. Tell us about that night.
We were just all over the place. First of all, we had to make sure we had the right representation for her in terms of an agent. We needed somebody who was going to fight the battle, who was going to be behind the scene talking and really, convincing these coaches that this is a player. And when the WNBA sent me an email back in January for her to do paperwork to enter the draft, I was extremely excited. And I told her, I said, okay, we got it. Your name will be on the draft board. Now we need you to get the numbers. And so we, all year we prepare her for that moment. She was so nervous. She didn't know if she should do a watch party or not. Because she said, well, Coach, I don't want to do a watch party and don't get selected. I'm going to be really embarrassed. And I said, you know what? You have won anyway. If you don't get drafted, you're still a winner. We can celebrate the fact that you were on the draft board. And sure enough, when it got down to the 30s of the draft, third round, her agent started calling. I think the Los Angeles Sparks wanted to draft her at 37. And Phoenix, Arizona called, Phoenix Mercury called and wanted to draft her at 27 or something like that. And then we went back and sat down in Indiana Fever. We had no idea they were going to draft her. Indiana Fever came out of nowhere and drafted her. And we were just extremely excited. She did well at training camp. She lasted longer than most of the people who were there. Most of the players got cut before they can even get to the games. Wow. And she was able to play in 2 games before getting cut. And, I think that was just a really good experience for her. It opened the doors for her to make more money overseas. And so for our program, it helps with recruiting. So now when we go out and get those other big time players, we can tell them, hey, our players are getting drafted. So it helped tremendously, not only for Jackson State, it helps other HBCUs as well to be able to say, we had an HBCU player drafted. So she's a trailblazer, and she opened the door for a lot of players.
Wow. I know that was a great night for you, a night for her and her family. I think she has a son.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, that runs around. I've seen that. Talk about some of the greats, because if you turned down a job, stay at Jackson State, and over my 40 years in this conference, there's not many coaches, period, that get. I mean, you such a trendsetter. I don't know if you understand that and know that that there's been very few coaches. There's only been 2 coaches in football in HBCU that actually left HBCU head job and got a PWI job. That's Coach Willie Jeffries back in 1978. I know I'm going back on you. Hobson from Alcorn, but he was a white coach. Mm-hmm. So my 40 years, there's never been a coach that's left. When I look at the basketball, I think you had Cynthia Cooper come through and leave, and she bounced through. And then you had her assistant. I can't think of her name.
Perry.
Yeah, and I think Those are the only two that I know. Do you know any other ones?
That's it.
That's it. So, but then you just took it to another level because you were interviewed by some what we really call Power Fives. So how do you feel about that? You know, I don't like it. You know, it's like we gotta have everything together. You know, and when I look at you, you got everything together. You're smart, you're intelligent, you know how to get your sleeves up. I think you more qualified than the average person, but still, yet there's still one thing left. And I'm gonna say it. You ain't gotta say it. It's the color of your skin. I mean, you've done it. 3 SWAC championships. 2. I started from junior college. I worked my way through. I'm classy. I dress nice. I speak well. What else do we got to do, Coach?
You know, it's really unfortunate. But I will say this: not many of us. Well, let's go back. Bethune-Cookman. That coach was at Bethune for maybe 15 years, and now she's the head coach at I think Oral Roberts.
Right.
So, I will say this: it's all about timing. Not too many coaches want to leave the SWAC and want to leave HBCUs because the environment is so welcoming. It's so exciting. But that's not why I chose to stay. I felt like I had such an amazing and dynamic team coming back. And the way we ended last year versus LSU, the speech that I gave at the end, the look on my players' faces because we did not meet what we came in to meet. I just felt like it was more to do. I don't want to consider myself a voice for the HBCU community, but it's just an agenda that I have that I'm betting on myself.
Yeah.
I'm betting on myself that we're going to come out and and have another great season. However that looks, we're going to come out and have another great season and be competitive, and the opportunity will present itself. And I think everybody knows it. Our alumni knows it. They talk about it all the time. Hey, we know a big school is going to come for you. The school that offered me, it was on the West Coast. It was really far. The cost of living was extremely high, and I just kind of I don't want to just jump for anything. It's all about timing. And so the AD there that offered the job is amazing. I would have took the job just because of him, because he reminded me a lot of my current AD. Very innovative and just an awesome guy. But at the end of the day, I had to figure out what would be best for me, what would continue to help me grow. Believe it or not, Coach Cole, me staying one more year or however longer I'll be at Jackson State is going to continue to help me grow, and it's going to continue to help our conference grow, and it's going to continue to help other HBCUs grow. We're going to change the way we are viewed. And it's going to take one coach, 2 coaches, a couple of players, a couple of wins at a time. But I'm telling you, the change is going to begin to happen, and you'll see it.
Yeah, I just give you I never desired to coach at a PWI because I'm an HBCU graduate. And I have the same thoughts that you have, that let me work at a black school, run a first-class program, win, and move forward. But I wasn't able. I didn't get that opportunity to finish what I started, and that scares me. And I'm talking real to you, that sometimes you stay in a place too long, and I know that runs through your mind. And because when I came up, I'm the youngest of 9 boys. My vision was I wanted to be the next Eddie Robinson, but I wanted to take a black school and be able to compete at the PWI. And I'm not going to say level. I want to be able to beat PWIs. I got that opportunity at Tennessee State along with my brother. We was in the Ohio Valley Conference at Tennessee State, and we won championships back to back. But what we got out of that was he got a head job at Alabama State. I was offered the job at Tennessee State, which I turned down after about 3 days. Do that run across your mind? That yeah, that's your goal. Say, and you doing it, you getting it, you there. Does that run across your mind to say, you know how our people are, you know, you got your stuff together, everybody is cheering your name. You know how we get sometimes. Does that ever come across your
Yeah. And you know, that's wisdom that you're sharing right now. And I appreciate you being very transparent with that. And it does cross my mind. But you know, sometimes we have to take our focus off the outcome and enjoy the journey. And I all so long I've had what I want the ending to look like. And you know, instead of just being right here in the moment. Because sometimes if we focus on the outcome, we miss what we're supposed to be doing within the journey. And so I it crosses my mind, but I try not to focus on it. I think it's very obvious. But I try to stay sharp in terms of, you know, I'm in a WOC organization with Dawn Staley, with Crenshaw Taylor, Jackie Furman, you know, with Felicia Hall Allen, who's a big time agent. I'm in this organization with, you know, a lot of great Black head coaches, and I'm constantly picking their brains. And these women are in constant fights for people like us to have jobs like that.
Right.
And so, you know, with me talking to them and sharing with them, and them having an opportunity to see, you know, okay, this young lady know what she's talking about. Let's help her. You know, so I'm having blind faith, Coach Cole, in that. I'm having blind faith in what I've been shown. You know, it's just a blind faith type of atmosphere that I'm going to operate on, and just trust that I've made the right decision and that my outcome is going to be whatever it should be. And whatever it ends up being, I will be okay with it.
Well, you know, I always do my homework. You know, I've heard Coach Staley talk and Lisa Leslie, and it's hard on them. It's hard on you. It's hard on women, Black coaches in these positions of power, these Power Five, as you say. And one thing I know about coaching, Miss Reed, when you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. You know this game shit you've been around. You know, there's coaches that get hired and coaches that get fired. That's the part of the game. But because you reach such a milestone so fast and so quickly, and you got so much class, and I just, you know, I pray for you. I pray for you and your deal that we could that you could work through those things, because there's always somebody out there that's trying to get you, and it's already tough enough on us just being Black in America. With these shootings going on, and guy, you know, it's crazy that some white folks don't understand our thinking, but when you got a guy out there that's white that's actually saying, "I'm going around, I want to kill Blacks," in your coaching, did you involve that to your players, you know, and if it affected or didn't affect it, you know, what's your take on that?
You know, that's really unfortunate. That entire situation, all of these killings that been happening, the murders that's been happening, shootings, they're all so unfortunate. And you have to, you know, just, you know, the message that I would tell my team, my son, you know, my family, you have to always have a watchful eye, and try to, you know, just try to, you know, obviously we got to stay prayed up, because you know, your bullet has no name on it. But you know, it's unfortunate you still have some hatred and racism in this world. But you know, that's the time that we're living in, you know, and you know, we can't feed it. We have to pray for it, you know.
So So back to your basketball program. When your camps start, are they starting today? I know it's a lot of camps. This is the first week out of school. I know there's a lot of football camps going on, a lot of basketball camps going on. What's your schedule?
Well, we'll start our second camp tomorrow. We'll have our fundamental camp, and it'll go from Tuesday till Thursday, and this will be for our smaller kids and players who need development. So we'll take this time and get them together and have fun with them over the next 3 days, and then the following Friday and Saturday we'll start working on our team shootout. We have about 40 teams that'll be on campus playing against each other from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. We'll have games going, so we're excited about that.
Well, I also know you're a super mom, and we got to get your son in here. How old is he right now? And is he playing ball? Where we at?
Yeah, Carlin is 10 years old, and he's extremely smart. He travels with me, being a type 1 diabetic. I keep him close to me. And so he has a high IQ for the game of basketball. He plays basketball. He actually has basketball practice soon. And he also plays baseball. And so he's a really, really, really good baseball player. I mean, great. Never been taught, but went out on the field first day and killed it. So I'm excited about that. He's a pitcher for his team. And he will also, look to play basketball. So he's doing good.
Yeah. Coach Reed, man, you jump so fast. I mean, how are you taking on all this stardom and interviews? I know, old Cole, we wearing you out, wearing your phone out. Say, look, you bring some legitimacy to me,
Yeah.
So, I mean, how you feeling?
You said some things that just touched my heart. It's just a joy, and I could just hear it in your voice when you said, Coach Reed, it's me. I'm a fan. Come on, Coach. And I just smiled, and I was like, yeah, I am just so honored. I'm so humbled and so honored and so thankful. I was at camp, and all the kids had Tomekia Reed basketball camp on their shirts, 100 players. And I'm looking like, wow, that's my name,
Yeah.
So I'm grounded, Coach Cole. I'm grounded, and so I in order to continue to help, you got to stay grounded. You can't get too high. And so I'm so thankful for where I am and for the people like you who are just wonderful supporters. And I try to interview with most people as possible, as much people as I can, as long as it's a positive interview. I've had a couple of bad experiences, and so I just, as long as it's positive, I'm all for it. And so it's been great. I have a couple of flights, speaking engagements coming up. People wanting to bring me out to speak, and so it's awesome. And I'm just so glad that God has given me this platform to be able to speak and share his word. And so I'm truly honored.
Don't give them all. Don't give them all the ingredient now. If you're cooking some cornbread, you got to leave the egg out when you talk. Somebody take an egg, you got to beat it up and let it set for a couple of days. So I'm excited. I like to see brothers and sisters make it. I like to, make sure if I could add some to you about some pitfalls to watch out for. It sounds like that you have, you got everything together and stay humble. And one of the things I always, pray to God and say thank you, for putting me in these situations. Because you don't always have to thank him when or go searching when things are going bad. You need to make sure that you give him recognition, and I think that you do that. Watching your program is such enjoyable because one, I know you, and this next name I want to bring up, Coach Denise Taylor. Y'all think y'all won what 2 or 3 together as well?
Absolutely, we did.
I can't say enough about her. I know she missed the job at Texas Southern again. But tell us how was she influential in you? Because did you get the job after she left, or?
No, I got the job after Serena Dixon. She filled in after Denise
That's
Taylor.
another buddy of mine.
Yeah, Serena. So Coach Taylor is, she's phenomenal. Hard worker. She one thing I learned from her is how to network. She was the best at networking. And I'm telling you, when it comes to raising funds for your program and bringing in attention to your program, you have to be able to get out and talk and network. And that's one thing I learned from her, and just being involved. She told me years ago, Coach Reed, you need to learn how to play golf. And that's why all the networking go down. And so, she came to, when I was in Houston, she came to my hotel, and I was in the hotel trying to teach her how to play golf. I said, Coach, I'm a pro at this thing now, and
Wow.
so we just sit and laugh about it. But she's a great woman who was just dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
And I would love to see her get back in it at some level. When people approach me and ask for recommendations, she's one of the ones I always recommend for a head job. I think she does a great job. She's a people person, and she's a great recruiter.
Yeah. Just a little joke. When I first met you, Denise clean now. She used to be clean. And I said, Dad, well, your sister need to come on up. But look at you now. You got your heels working, your jewelries, and your lipsticks, and your hair different ways. I said, girl, she doing it. She doing it. But I'm very proud of you. I can, happy to see that you get things done. All right, what's our record gonna be this year? Can you give me a predicament, or you?
No, I can't give a predicament. We losing 33 points, so we're gonna have to figure some things out. And I'm excited to bring the team in here late June and kind of figure out where we are, who our stars will be, and putting the system in place. By the time we get to SWAC, I pray I have it all figured out. I hope I have it figured out before SWAC, but I don't have a predicament. We're not trying to match what we did last year, 21-0 and 18-0 in the conference. We're not trying to match that. We just want to be great in where we are, and where in this year. Every year has a different tale. Every year has a different level of what we grade as success. And so I just want to make sure that we do that within this year.
Yeah, you were talking about your schedule, your Power Five. How many Power Five teams you gonna play?
We're gonna play a lot of them. Coach, we have to bring in this guarantee money, and
Right.
so we're gonna play whoever wants to play us. We've reached out to South Carolina, we reached out to Stanford.
Yeah, you jumped in the top 10, didn't you?
I think that's what a program is.
Really?
And so now we're ready to play, and we haven't heard back from either. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, let me tell you, my brother is over there in Atlanta, Georgia. He's been to the state champion 5A and 6A state champion 3 years back to back. So he got a couple players over there. He's probably in the last 15 years has been in the Final Four probably about 5 times, and in the Final 8 about 9 times. So
Wow.
over at what's that place? South Park High School. Matter of fact, one of his girls played for Coach Staley
Okay.
on that championship team. So when you get a kid from there, they're gonna be well coached. They're gonna
Well,
be
awesome. We gotta certainly connect, and it's been hard scheduling. We're not done. I say South Carolina and the Stanfords because those are the teams that would play us, and wouldn't care. They'll come in. Oh, we'll play Jackson State, but you got a lot of SEC schools that will not play us.
Right.
Mississippi State told us no. Ole Miss told us no. So you got a lot of schools that won't play us, and so it's been really hard trying to get some competition in. So we have to go for the UConns, the Stanfords, and the South Carolinas teams who wouldn't care to play us. So
well, when you down, you're getting phone calls from your Ole Miss and your Mississippi State. I remember at Texas Southern when I first got there, everybody in the state want to play you. I'm like, well, shoot, we just come off a 4-11 season. That's before I got there. But then when I got that team going, it was like you saying, "Oh no, our schedule is filled now." So maybe on a 1AA level in football and on a 1A level, you got to go out and get some transfer.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and time as a coach. I call it the microwave job. You got a microwave job. Earlier we talked about, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not. It's hard. Don't you think it's hard trying to build a team off of high school players?
Absolutely. And at my elite camp, I talked to the players and I said, hey, you guys got to be great. You guys got to work every day and be great, because now college coaches are going to the transfer portal, not even really looking at high school athletes. So you have to put in the work. It's not okay to just sit in front of the TV or, eat popcorn all day and think you're just going to be great. Just when you hit the court, you got to put the work in. So you have to, it's hard for high school players right now. It really is. But the bigger schools can do it because they're getting the top 10 players in the country.
Right.
But for the lower mid-major programs, the low major programs, we have to recruit from that portal for experience.
Yeah, Coach Denise Taylor said she's so proud of Coach Reed.
Coach Taylor.
How many players do you carry on your team?
Well, this year right now, I have 18 players.
Okay.
I will cut it down to 15, but if it's cut down to 15, I'll have 3 starting lineups on my team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now do they give you 15 full scholarships on the Division 1A level?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
It was about 13 or maybe when meeting but that's a lot of players and coaches. That's a lot of personalities.
Wow.
You got some work to do.
Yeah.
If you can come out and kick some butt this year, they need to give you the national coach of the year. Because it's tough about win. And now you're dealing with the old, and then you're dealing with the new, and everybody think they the star. One of the things I always run into on my championship teams is each division of my team think they the reason why they the champion. We the champion because the defense played well. We the champ and you got to bring everybody together. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's important. That chemistry is important. Players accepting their roles is important. Understanding, especially when you're transferring, your JUCO players coming in, understanding that you may not serve in the same capacity here as you served in your previous institution. That's important. And I think, that's what, we focus on early, just getting that chemistry and getting them also chemistry with me, and getting them to trust me. So yeah, those things are really important.
Yeah, you got your work cut out. We coming down to got a whole nother schedule that you got to go to. Still promise me I can get on the boat when I get to Mississippi Jackson, or
on the boat.
Might be in a speedboat now, or I'll bring the liquor, and we'll have a good time. Just out shooting the breeze. Do you fish any?
I do fish. I do fish. Yes.
Okay, you just all around.
I do it all.
Yeah. Don't what you say. Don't let the persona fool you. I know how to let my hair down and go. Your last words, Coach.
I just thank you for bringing me on, and you've been in this game a long time. You know what the fight is. You know what the struggle is for HBCU coaches. And I just want to assure you that a change is coming for us all. And we need people like you who are, trailblazers into this thing, to continue to support and get the word out through your programming that you have. And, just keep driving forth and showing great talent like you are, because I think if we continue to have exposure, if we can continue to get, USA Today and ESPN to cover HBCU coaches, then we will have an opportunity to be successful. So I just thank you for what you're doing and encourage you to continue to do your thing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you one other favor.
Okay.
Can you help me get Dion on? Hey, hey, we'll talk about it later, but I just wanted to put it out there. You know,
Okay.
hey, Coach, greatness from the
Thank
day you've been first class. I thank you for taking the time out. I know we're gonna be talking again. You know I'm patient. Always try to fit me in. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
you.
Charge. When you get to Houston, I'm gonna give you a call. I'm definitely gonna drive wherever you need me to go to come see you play.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tomekia Reed. You know, again, 3-time SWAC champion, 2-time Coach of the Year, and we still don't get an opportunity to get us a PWI job. The one we got to get is way somewhere away, probably some losing program, you know. And my show is all about awareness. Uh, we got guys. Not only does it happen in the football arena, as you see, it happens in the basketball arena. I can guarantee you, if Tomekia Reed was a white coach, she would be at some big time school. It's no question, you know. But the problem is that the people who making the decisions don't look like us. Uh, and again, I always say this is not a racial thing. It's an awareness thing. I just can't think because a guy is white that they don't make the decisions. It's just like me. It's just like you. When you choose the friends that you're around, most of the friends I'm around looks like me, you know, and the same thing as you. So, but that's not right. It's not fair. You know, once again, the cotton field sees all these African Americans dunking balls and laying balls up and through their legs around their back, scoring touchdowns. But the people who got the controls are people that don't look like them. And it's still the same trend. College athletics is a $1 billion industry. That's the lead roles that makes it go, the machine, are African American males and females, especially in the major sports of football, basketball, and we're starting to get in the other sports as well. The other thing about it is what's happening to HBCU schools is the non-revenue sports, bowling, tennis, golf. These schools don't bring any money, are now being led by white coaches. Come on, presidents. Come on, athletic directors. Are they hiring you guys at these PWI schools? Are they hiring ADs at these PWI schools? I would say no. So why should we? Not that it's again, it's not a racial thing. It's about opportunity. It's about economics. It's about coaches making money. We should keep our positions and do so well that they got to hire us. I know at the end of the day, on the pro level, the only way it's going to ever change is that the players got to stand up and say something, because in the pros, they don't get federal or state money. So, and it's privately owned. But on college, which they receive federal money, the black people pay federal taxes, they receive state money, we pay state money, that some needs to be done. Everybody wants to jump around it. I want to bring awareness that it's an unfair industry in sports in college that is being led by white people, and we're not getting the opportunities. Again, thank you guys for listening in. Uh, I'll get my guest for next week to come on in. And on the 20th of June, which is a Monday, the show is going to be about my family. My 8 brothers and my mom will be up in Ohio, and we're going to bring the show to you that you can see where I come from, my background. Some of the most wonderful people is my brothers. I look at them as my mentor. Some of them has stepped in as a father figure, and that'll be June the 20th. Thank you. Same place, same time, the HBCU Stroll. My name is James Jeter, and
I won $500 for lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday, July 17th, 2023. Number 1. Over the weekend, the torch was passed as the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson announced he is stepping down as president of the National Rainbow Push Coalition. He introduced the man who will step into that role, the Reverend Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes III of Friendship West in Dallas. The 81-year-old civil rights leader said he's resigning, not retiring, and emphasized he will not pull up in his fight for equality. Number 2. The Department of Education revealed updated efforts to forgive $39 billion for over 800,000 student loan borrowers. The forgiveness is the result of a promise made last year by the Biden administration in response to years of complaints and lawsuits against the student loan servicers. Number 3. The Biden administration's Cancer Prevention and Treatment Initiative just received celebrity support in the form of superstar Mary J. Blige. The singer joined First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and the American Cancer Society to announce national meetings on breast and cervical cancer. The Cancer Society pledged to convene events after the President and First Lady resurrected the Cancer Moonshot Initiative this year. Number 4. On June 24th in Lancaster, California, a bystander recorded a video of a deputy violently tackling a black woman while she filmed a man being handcuffed. That video has gone viral and was recorded by local video artist Lisa Michelle. In an over 5-minute bystander video, a deputy grabbed the woman by the neck and violently threw her to the ground while she filmed the man's arrest on a cell phone. Number 5. The definition of patience is to endure discomfort without complaining. The spiritual meaning of patience is very similar. Patience in the Bible is the ability to endure difficult people and situations without giving into anger or giving up hope. Patience is tied to your level of faith. If you have a strong faith in God and what He can and will do in your life, you can have more patience because you already know He's going to come through for you. Read more about patience in our Ministry Monday column in today's newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. The responsibility that we avoid today will be our problems of tomorrow. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedians extraordinaire Huggy Lowdown and Chris Paul, along with social justice activist Coy Malone, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.